Alright, hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Miss Mo. Oh my goodness, I'm so tired. So in this video, this is day 21 of me having these kids press on nails. But again, this isn't the purpose of this video. That's not the purpose of this video, but I am going to be shaving the nails down while I talk. And so the purpose of this video is to wrap up this I guess I'll call it like a mini series of that I'm doing in honor and promotion of my ebook or e-guide. And this final part of the series is going to be talking about spiritual health and what I'm understanding about spiritual health in general, and just what my own spiritual health looks like now. And hopefully this video won't be too long, because yeah, my other videos have been pretty long, so hopefully this won't be too long. Woo! And I'm shaving these nails down because I'm ready to take them off. It's been 3 solid weeks and these nails have not popped off. And I'm looking now, if you were to, I don't know if y'all can really see it, but you know, I don't think I put this one on that well, which is why when you look at the nail bed, it's like so separated. But the other ones are, I don't know. I think I did like make sure that everything was snug. But I just think my nails are just growing out. So just like, it's time to go. I was trying to wait for them to pop off, but they like, girl, we not leaving until it's time to go, you know? Well, girl, it's time to go. It is time to go. And I really put on some black nails. But I also want my nails to rest too. So yeah, but going back to the purpose of this video. So spiritual health and what I'm understanding about it. So what I'm understanding about spiritual health in general, my spiritual health is that my spirit guides me, and my spirit is linked. Sorry for the in and out. It's just gonna be like that. my spirit guides me, and my spirit is linked to my source, Almighty Creator, God. And so when I'm aligned with my spirit, I feel a deeper connection with God. I feel, and if somebody's watching this video, you may have heard other people talk about the silence, and even just how deafening silence can be, but also silence plus stillness. It's like not a roaring, but it's like you feel and you hear something speak to you, speak as clear as day, but so it's a small voice, but it's very not prominent, but it's very distinct. It makes itself known. It's not only a small voice and it's inaudible. It's a small voice and it projects. And to me, I see that as my spirit telling me something. And usually what my spirit is telling me, it's like a guide. It really feels like my spirit is a compass, and it's just guiding me of like, girl, I don't think you should do this. or a girl, I think you should watch out for that person, or a girl, child, I think you should connect with that person. I think you should hold your tongue right now. I think you should speak up right now. It's so subtle, like this. And when that all works together with like my body, I feel like for me, when I get anxious about stuff, my mind is very loud of like, okay, you gotta do this, you gotta do this, gotta do this, gotta do this. Make sure you get this done, get this done, get this done, get done. Make sure you ask them this, that. Make sure you respond by this, that. It's like everything is so like that. So imagine your mind feeling like that, your body reacting to what your mind is feeling and processing. But then imagine you going around a little hectic, and you might get attitudes with people because you have so much stuff going on in your mind internally that you just need to get it out. And if somebody is holding you up, either because they might be moving too slow, or they don't understand what you're talking about, because maybe you're talking too fast, it can make you very, like, in a way, frazzled. But then imagine feeling like that, and then you sit still, you sit in silence, and you hear a small whisper say, I think you should blah, blah, blah. Now, not even I think. It's like, you should do this. So small, so subtle, so calm. And that's what I'm learning about my spiritual health, is that when I get hit with that calmness, that is my spirit guiding me on which direction I need to go. Instead of me getting so consumed by like the ways of the world, like instead of me getting so consumed about what is visually in front of me, I'm looking and looking at those things as if they have the answers. I'm looking internally to find the answers, which have already been provided to me by the Almighty. So I'm just learning a lot about the importance of being still so I can listen to my spirit and listen to my guide. Because the way that the world works, and I'm seeing this more so with just how people act. Like, have you ever been in a room with somebody, and maybe I've said this on previous videos too, have you ever been in a room with people and you know more than what they are talking about in regards to a particular subject, but they say stuff and they do stuff as if they really know what they're talking about, even though they don't, and you know that they don't. Like, it's not like you are hating on them, like, man, they don't know what they're talking about. You literally know that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And so I'm using that as an example to show how men, whether a biological man or men in general, I'm using that word in general, men in general don't always know what the fuck they're talking about. Like, they just don't. Sometimes they just don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So why are you looking to them as if they have all the answers? My spiritual health is teaching me how to lean not on the understanding of man, but on the understanding of God, and on the understanding of what has already been bestowed upon me through my gifts, through my wisdom, looking truly within. And I've mentioned this in another video too. I think I have. But like, even with my spiritual health, I'm more spiritual. And that's just because of, I saw the faults of man, and not to say that people cannot have faults, but I didn't see any accountability for those actions. it just seemed very like they did something wrong, but nobody talks about it. And it made me feel very lost. And it made me almost, well, I wouldn't even say that. I wouldn't even, that would probably be me going a little bit too far. But it really made me question because I identify as Christian, it really made me question every Christian that I ever met. And it made me question the church especially. And it just threw me off. Like, it not threw me off, but it turned me off. Like, I just did not want anything to really do with the church, because I just felt like it may not have been one particular church, but I just felt like the institution in itself don't know how to be accountable for their actions. And that was difficult, for me to like really wrap my head around, because I'm looking at these people, looking at these institutions as if they're wiser and they know better, and therefore they themselves would do better, only to see that they're not wiser, they don't know better, and they won't do better on their own. Somebody has to really twist their arm to get them to do better. And by twisting their arm, I mainly mean by like public shaming. And it was just very hard for me to get down with that. And so I'm saying all that to say, and providing that context to show, to explain why it was necessary for me to look within. Because what I was seeing outside of myself was hypocrisy and lies. And it just made me, first it just brought me, it took me through so many different phases of like, am I in the wrong because I won't see past their wrongs? And then am I being super judgmental by not forgiving them? And by them, I mean like the church, by forgiving them for their actions or lack thereof. And it just made the blame always went towards me as to why I'm choosing to step away, mainly from the church. The blame felt like was always towards me. And I had to get to the point, it's like, the blame isn't just on me. And it feels like it's not even my blame to take, not even a partial of it. Because I think the partial blame that I could take was the fact that I put so much of my hope and aspirations into an institution that functions like that of a man. And by a man, I'm just talking about in general. It functions based off of its societal structure. So shame on me for not thinking outside the box, or not trying to find answers on my own, instead of just relying on what was passed down or even fed to me. So I'll take the blame for that. Okay. I couldn't figure out how to even have a better understanding and better relationship with God, because the people that I'm interacting with, who are supposedly representations of God, and not sin, but the opposite of sin, like that, who's supposed to be a representation of the virtuous and the just be representations of Christianity. I'll say that. People who are supposed to be representations of Christianity are not even doing Christian things. And I'm not saying it in a way in which somebody has to be perfect, because that's another false narrative of this idea of perfection. Nobody, no human being is perfect. And even though nobody is perfect, why is it so hard for the church to be accountable? Why are the people that are supposed to be representations of Christianity and therefore of God, why are they so judgmental? Like, I read the Bible every day. I read a section out of the chapter, like out of the books, and you get to see a whole range of people, but you also get to see a whole range of lessons. And I don't understand if the people that are representations of Christianity that I have interacted with, if they have truly read the Bible. Because the way that they treat people who don't think like them, who don't act like a Christian, who don't like, the way that they separate the them versus, it's really of like a them versus us. It's like these people are not representing God properly. And if you say something about it, they're going to make it seem as if, well, look at the devil working right now. The devil. Like, it's always that lack of accountability is not there. And as someone who's trying to gain a better understanding of God and kind of gain and trying to understand how do I talk to God? How do I have a conversation with God? How do I pray? How do I pray in the correct way? And not in the correct way of these are the words, but these are the words that you need to say to God. But to pray in the correct way in which my conversations, my prayers with God is not performative. It's not a spectate. It's not something to spectate. It's truly a conversation that I'm having with my Creator about life, about joy, about sadness, about everything. How do I do that? And the people that I'm looking to for answers, because I'm still stumbling in this world trying to figure it out. The people that I'm looking to for answers, these representatives, these so-called Christians, they really, they don't create a space in which my opposing views will create a dialogue for better understanding on both sides. Instead, it seems as if my opposing views just is like a signal for them to say, oh, that's the devil. And it's like, I'm not a bad person. I'm not trying to do anything malicious to you. I just think differently based off of how I'm understanding a situation and based off of my own life experiences. I think differently than you. So why can't I have a conversation with you? And why can't I learn from you and you learn from me? Why does it have to be, oh, you have to think the way that I think in order to be in this group? And if you don't think the way that I think in order to be in this Christian group, goodbye. And so I said all those things about the church because I just felt very lost. I felt very lost. And like I kind of said, but not really, was that that backlash that I met from other Christians, mainly the judgmental ones, that backlash that I felt from them, again, they may not have said anything that was super judgmental, but the space that it's the actions. Your actions truly speak louder than your words. Those interactions just, it almost made me question, almost. It almost made me question my relationship with God. But then I was like, nah, we ain't doing that. Because I've had my own experiences. I call them kissing the feet of Jesus moments. These life-changing, life-saving moments. I've had those experiences with God so much so that I know God exists. But what I'm seeing from Christians, what I'm seeing from them does not look like the work that God produces. So I took a step back because the people that I was hanging around with, the Christians, going to the Wednesday Bible study groups and doing Sunday school, and I wasn't hanging out with people in Sunday school really, because I'm an introvert, I'm a loner, but for the most part, but like going to church every Sunday, these kids, these Christian kids, I'm saying kids in a general way, but these Christian kids, they were being a bad influence on my spiritual health because they weren't guiding me in the right way. They were guiding me to be in the in crowd, in the Christian in crowd, in which that Christian in crowd is filled with a lot of judgment, a lot of shame. Like we're not perfect, like I said. Therefore, we might do stuff that is not of best character. But there's a difference between acknowledging and being accountable and changing. And there's a difference between shaming somebody, making them feel so bad about what they did that they should be ashamed of themselves. They should feel bad about themselves. And yeah, I just felt like the Christian kids, they were just being a very bad influence. And so I stepped away. Like I would do if I was with a group of kids that are like my age or whatever in school, and they doing some shit that's going to get them in trouble. Hell no, I ain't about to hang out with you. Especially if it's not something, if it's like fighting for a good cause, okay. That's a little bit different. But if it's just like you being reckless and disrespectful, no, I'm not about to hang out with you. Or you being mean to other people, no, I'm not about to hang out with you. Because I don't know where you think you are, but that bad karma energy that you putting out, I feel like it's going to come back to get you. And I feel like I might get caught up in that storm of when that karma comes back. So let me back away. And I feel like that's what I needed to do with the church, with hanging out with other Christians. Like I would love to just have a meaningful, deep relationship. A meaningful relationship with authentic conversations with Christians that's not so filled with judgment of others or shame for themselves. And I kind of see the relationship that I would want when I listen to the Know For Sure podcast, because, they're unapologetically Christian. So, and I like that. I like that. And I like how they don't pretend to be, they don't seem to pretend to be perfect. Like they have their flaws like everybody else. And they acknowledge it. And yeah. And they understand that everything is a work in progress. But yeah, I just really had to step back from that stuff and step back and just try to understand God on my own terms, not by the influence of somebody else, but just by reading a book, not even a book, reading the Bible, trying to understand it, and then doing the thing that sometimes it's hard for us, and I'm talking about myself mainly, to do. Ask a question for clarity, which is just another form of just asking for help. Help me help you, okay? Help me help you by helping me understand what you're talking about. And I say all that to say that if I'm reading the Bible, if I'm thinking about these stories and thinking about the lessons that I'm seeing from these stories, and there are some things that I'm just not understanding, just ask God. Like, God, what were you trying to tell me? Or not even tell me. What is meant? What am I seeing with this story about the book of Joshua? Like, what is that all about? Ask. And if you were to ask God, if you can ask God for clarity, you can ask God for gifts, you can ask God for understanding. And God will answer. And I'm saying this like confidently, because I've had situations. I mean, I talk to God every day, but I've had situations where I was like, God, should I do this? And I tell y'all, that answer, and going back to just my whole, like my spiritual health, my spiritual guide, it's like either yes, or depending on the situation, it's like no. Like it be that simple, bruh. It be so simple. And then what makes it complicated is that because we're so, our body is tied to this world, it's kind of like that struggle of like, you know what the answer is because there's a stillness within you. There's not an anxious spirit within you. It's a stillness. You know what the answer is by that stillness. But then because the weight of the world might get into your head and you're like, I don't know, you start to second guess. And that second guess creates an internal struggle within you, because it's like one thing is saying yes or no, depending on what the question was or how you should move. But then when you see things visually, it's like, okay, but how will I get this? And how will I get that? Like, everything has to be answered. Like, you're so consumed by the visual things that you're seeing that you have to have an answer to how you're going to get those visual things or how you're going to get those answers. And, to not only wrap up this video, but to also clarify what I mean. I'm going to use this example. So, I want to leave my job. My body has been through so much emotional, mental, like I'm just drained. And I don't have anything to offer anymore. I don't have any way to spin this job in a way in my mind to say, okay, let me not focus on that. Let me try to focus on the good. And let me just keep it moving like that. Like, I literally have nothing to offer this job anymore because of the amount of stress and the lack of vision, the lack of clarity that this organization has brought. And so I'm having these conversations with God because God knows what I'm trying to do in my life. God knows. So I'm like, God, should I stay? Should I go? 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 And then it hit me. You need to go. You have nothing to offer. You're not even showing up as yourself. Even if that was you code switching at work, your code switching at work is still spectacular in that you still know how to deliver. but you're not even delivering anything. You're not you know your potential, and even when you hit that high potential, you know that okay, you can turn it up a notch a little bit more. But you at this point, you can't even hit that your bare minimum potential, and you see it, and that's causing more stress for you because you're not even operating at the way that you like to operate at. So it's a no for me, dog. that is what God is telling me. It's a no. Step away from this. You're not even shining like the star that I know you are. So you need to step away from this. And you don't have to show and prove to this world that you are a good worker or that you have something to offer. I already know you have something to offer because even when no one is looking, you are offering it. So, baby girl, that's a no. Step away. So I come to terms. Again, that's the no is a subtle but strong no. I come to terms with the no. A calmness is over me. But then I think about my life. Then I think about, okay, how am I going to buy this? How am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to do this? What are people going to think about me if I don't have a job? And if I don't have anything lined up? Like, what are they going to think if they know that I'm not applying for other places? What are they going to think? I get so consumed by, again, the ways of the world that I create an internal struggle within myself when it doesn't have to be like that. I don't need to have everything so figured out. I don't need to know. I don't need to have everything so figured out because God has already proven to me in my life, especially in my kissing the feet of Jesus moments, has already proven to me, girl, I got you. Like, I got you. And even the things that you remember, the stuff that you were worried about a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, look at where you are now. When I say I got you, I got you. But what I need you to do right now is understand that where you are at with this job, it's not serving you, and therefore it's not serving me. So I need you to remove yourself. Because if you continue to get so consumed by the things and the materialistic things of this world, and even the idea of showing up for others, but not showing up for yourself, and therefore not showing up for me, if you continue to go down this path, you are going to set yourself up for failure. And I'm trying to set you up to win. But you cannot be consumed by the things of this world. You need to listen within. Listen to what I'm trying to say to you. You asked me a question. Again, this is God talking to me. You asked me a question. I gave you the answer. You realize that answer was not going to be an easy, everybody's going to enjoy this answer type of answer. It was going to be one that makes you look at your faith, makes you look at what you asked me to question. The things that you question, and just really made you look at yourself and how you want to proceed. And so, it get deep, y'all. Again, sorry for the in and out light, but again, I was battling through that internal struggle. And a part of me was just like, okay, I should stay at this job and just do it for a little couple months, blah, 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 blah. Or I should just leave this job and just continue on that path. Y'all, the way I feel when I think about staying, my body is just like, no. My spirit is, get the fuck out. I'm not playing with you, girl. You know God got plans for you. I'm really not playing with you. Do not stay with this place. Know when it's your time to exit. And girl, leave. Leave. I already told you I got you. Stop thinking that. Stop operating in fear. And that's another thing that my spiritual health is teaching me. Is that when I'm operating out of fear, I'm not being connected with my spirit. Because like I said in the beginning, my spirit talks to me, or when the spirit talks to me, it's a calmness that comes with it. It really feels like in sync, it feels in sync. There's no doubt about it. You stepping in what you stepping in. And you stepping in it shoulders up, knees high. You stepping in that bitch. And so, yeah, y'all. And this is it's not new to me, but it is new to me. Like I said, I have a relationship with God. And I respect that relationship with God. And one way that I respect is that I acknowledge it. First and foremost, acknowledge it. But what makes this whole process new to me is that when I feel that stillness, I'm listening to it as if I'm just having a conversation. Like, okay, I'm recognizing how I'm feeling, how my body is reacting, how like my mind, like everything is just kind of like one. When that spirit gets it all together, everything just comes like one. And so, and I'm listening to that voice, I'm listening to that conversation of like all these different pillars of what makes us human beings. I'm listening to that. And it makes me like really look at what my body, my spirit is telling me. Like, I'm just not like, oh, that's a no. And going back to the job reference, it's like, not only is it a no, this is why it's a no. So that if something like this comes up in the future, you already have a better understanding as to why this one is a no and that future one is going to be a no too. So, yeah, I know I spoke longer than I intended to. But I guess when the spirit just gets in you, you just can't stop talking, you know. So, yeah, but this concludes this mini series. Again, my book, How to Stop Watering Weeds, it's really a guide, an interactive guide, and it talks about these pillars and how you need them all to be in sync, really, in order to get to a better understanding of you, and how you want to transform your life and transform your life so much so that you find you. It feels like, I don't want to spend too much, talk about this, but sometimes it just feels like this world tries to make us lose ourselves. And I don't know if it's the devil. I don't know what it is, but the older you get, sometimes it just feels like, sometimes it feels as if you are getting further and further away from yourself. From like who you were or how you were as a child. Like if you are a problematic child, like behavioral issues child, then maybe it is good to step further away from that. But if you, but if you were not that, and you were, I don't know, I don't want to say like there was an innocence about you, but there was a way about you in which you wasn't so easily moved by the things of this world. You had your own opinions about things. And I just, as I continue into adulthood, sometimes it feels as if I'm getting further and further away from the person that I enjoyed being, because of the things that happen in this world and the interactions that happen. So I'm on this journey of finding me again, because I've let so many things, I feel like I let so many things within this world dictate who I am, so much so that I don't even see me anymore. Or I see a little small speck of me, and I'm trying to open up that magnifying bitch. I'm trying to open that bitch wide open and see it and see me and find me and embrace all of me, you know. So yeah, that's what the interactive guide is all about. Again, it is available for purchase. You can email me at mozoloveinc@gmail.com if you would like to purchase a copy. But that is all for me. Still got some more filing to do. And again, this is day 21 with these kiss press-on nails. And y'all see how I'm filing them? Yeah, bitch, don't move, bruh. I see it lifting slightly, but that's because I was playing around with it. So, but yeah, I'm shaving it down now because I need to take these off now. I'm worried about my nails underneath it, like, hey. Okay. But, all right, that's all for me. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.